Now then, in this short video we're going to look at down jackets suitable for Everest Base Camp. The focus of these jackets made by PhD is focused on the warmth to weight ratio, so we want incredibly lightweight pieces of equipment, but we also want incredibly warm pieces of equipment. Each of these jackets are a K-series jacket, one of PhD's K-series jackets, and that means that they're made with the 1000 fill-power down, the highest quality down in the world, and very, very lightweight fabrics, and that helps us achieve these really remarkable weights that we can get from these very lightweight and packable pieces of equipment. Let's just talk about the conditions that you can expect at Everest Base Camp. You could expect daytime temperatures to be down to about -5 degrees C and nighttime temperatures down to about -15 degrees C. And as always in the mountains, wind chill effect can be considerable, so you really need to consider that. The other thing worth mentioning is that although daytime temperatures are -5, it's the nighttime temperatures that are worth considering if you want to be at base camp and milling around in the evening and relaxing in camp and possibly taking photographs. You really do want a good piece of warm equipment, not just the lightest down jacket you can find, but you really want to get a lightweight jacket which is also very warm. I've got 4 jackets here that we could look at. I'm going to start by talking about this one I'm wearing first. This is the Minimus, the PhD Minimus jacket. It's rated at -5 degrees centigrade. It's an incredibly lightweight piece of equipment and very, very practical. It's got features like insulated hand pockets at the waist. It's got insulated chest pocket on the chest there, which is very useful for carrying a camera and keeping the batteries warm and so on. It's got an optional hood there, which the hoods make a huge amount of difference, really keeping your head warm. So this is the very light end of equipment that you could possibly take, rated at -5, so it's absolutely ideal to cover and deal with those daytime temperatures of about -5. If, however, you want to go a little bit warmer, let's have a look at another piece of equipment, and that is one of the most popular down jackets we make for Everest Base Camp, and that's the Yukon jacket. It's a very lightweight piece of equipment. It weighs approximately 365 grams, and it's got a typical operating temperature of -15 degrees centigrade, so it's a very, very warm jacket. It's built in a lightweight fashion, an ultra lightweight style. Like this one, it just comes onto the hips, and it's got very lightweight features like elasticated cuffs, very lightweight zips, number 3 YKK zips, incredibly lightweight, and it's got a stud-on hood, really beautiful warm hood. So it's a very, very lightweight piece of equipment, and at -15 it really hits the brief. So this would be the first choice for most people going on to Everest Base Camp. It packs down small, packs down into a stuff sack that size, and these stuff sacks are loosely packed. They can be compressed even more, about 1/3 more. So if you used compression straps or a smaller stuff sack, it can be packed down smaller. But it really is a superb piece of equipment. It's been used a great deal by people going to Everest Base Camp and ultra lightweight racers and so on who want the absolute lightest piece of equipment they can take. So the PhD Yukon jacket is the first one I would suggest is absolutely ideal for Everest Base Camp. Put that one to one side. If, however, you want to go a bit warmer, if for instance you're doing some higher altitude trekking or you're doing some trekking mountains, then you might want to go a little bit warmer and go further towards traditional full mountaineering down pieces of equipment. And this is a jacket that I would suggest looking at. This is the Rondoy, the PhD Rondoy jacket. Again, it's a K-series jacket. It's made with this absolutely incredible 1000 fill-power down, very, very high lofting down, and it really helps us get these very, very lightweight pieces of equipment. This one weighs approximately 500 grams, but really now you're moving to a very warm piece of equipment. It's rated at -20, so it's quite a bit warmer than the Yukon. It's also a bit longer and gives you a bit more coverage. It's got cinchable cord locks around the waist to close it down. It's got Velcro on the cuffs to really have full control over that cuff to get real lockdown management of it, to work with the mitt, to either go over the top of the mitt or inside the mitt. We're now looking at more insulation, and this jacket has a insulated baffle over the front, a full length zip. I'll just Open this up. It's a two-way zip, a full-length zip. And inside we've got, just show you the inside, we've got a large security pocket that can be zipped close, but it's also quite large. It's big enough for an Nalgene bottle, a water bottle, so a 1 litre Nalgene bottle will go inside there. And we've got this elasticated stitch line on the inside, and that's designed to pull the jacket in closely to you, because really get the down to come close to your body and drape closely around your shape to get maximum warmth out of it. The outer of the jacket is made, like the Yukon, it's made in lightweight water resistant fabric, ultra shell, and the inner of the jacket is made in 10x, a very lightweight 10 denier fabric. The lighter the fabric, the better. It allows the down to get maximum loft and maximum insulation performance you can get from it. So that's the Rondoy. It's got, on the outer there, we've got hand warmer pockets low down at the waist, so your hands go in underneath the down. So your hands it's a very good place for warming your hands up, because your hands are actually going inside the jacket effectively, under the down. And it has another pocket on the chest, a large, heavily insulated pocket. Your hand goes in under the down. That's a big pocket. It'll take a map, or it'll take guidebook. It'll also take equipment that you're trying to keep warm, like a camera and so on. Really easy access. So that's the Rondoy jacket. It has a large expedition style hood, can be removed, it can be zipped off if you don't want the hood on, and it has a down collar, down-filled collar to really seal out the cold. So that's the Rondoy. That weighs about 500 grams, and it packs down into that type of stuff sack, and that can be compressed even further. But it packs down quite small. It's very protective, so if you want more insulation, if you're vulnerable to the cold, if you really feel the cold, if you're worried about the cold, the Rondoy is a very good piece of equipment. And it is also, if you've got ambitions to go higher than Everest Base Camp, if you've got ambitions to go onto one of the trekking peaks in the area, for instance, the Rondoy is a very, very good piece of equipment to consider. Now there's one more jacket. There's the three I've suggested we look at is the Minimus, that's the super lightweight one, the Yukon, which gives you insulation of about, it's got a typical operating temperature of -15. The Rondoy has a typical operating temperature of -20. There's one more I would really suggest is still worth looking at, and that's an even warmer jacket. It's the Hispar jacket. It's rated at -30, so if you've got ambitions to do something like Mirror Peak, something like that, one of those peaks, 6,500 metres, that sort of area, a trekker's peak, if you've got ambitions to go a little bit further with your mountaineering experiences, then the Hispar is very worthwhile looking at. And the reason I say that is it is incredibly warm, but it's also unbelievably light. This one is the Hispar K-Series jacket. It only weighs 575 grams. That's lighter than an awful lot of standard puffer jackets around in mountaineering circles. So it's a very, very lightweight piece of equipment and very, very protective. We'll have a look at the design of it. Like the Yukon, actually, it's been designed with this real focus on weight to warmth performance, the lightest possible equipment for the maximum warmth that you can get. Let's just look at it. It's a long piece, comes well down onto the hips. It's got a full length zip. It's got hand warmer pockets on the chest, just 2 pockets there, none down at the waist. They're just high on the chest, away from the harness or the rucksack belt. Very easy access, and they're insulated by the down, so your hand actually goes inside the garment there, it goes underneath the down. It's filled with this beautiful 1000 fill-power down, and our downs are natural downs. They're not chemically enhanced downs with stiffening treatments to change their performance. They're downs, they're very, very high quality natural downs, and we use those downs because they give us the maximum loft, and they also give us the maximum longevity you can get from the down. We're looking at downs here that give you the best lifespan of the garment that you can get. Let's have a look around the jacket. It's got a hood attached by zipper, so it can be removed, a down-filled hood. It's got a high collar, Velcro cuffs, cord locks on the hem to cinch it down, and inside, let's have a look at the inside. We've got a large security pocket here for stashing things that are important, but that pocket is also large enough to take a Nalgene. It'll take a 1 litre Nalgene bottle as well. So if you want to keep water from freezing inside, that pocket is absolutely perfect for that job. It's got a fleece lined collar, down-filled, so really seals out the cold. It's a very, very lightweight piece of equipment, packs down small, and as I say, if you really feel the cold, it's a real consideration because it's incredibly warm but also very lightweight. But also, if you've got further ambitions to go higher in the mountains, onto some of the trekking peaks and so on, it's a really good jacket to consider. So we've actually got 4 jackets here that we've looked through. The Minimus has a very light option. There's also the Ultra. The PhD Ultra jacket is a lighter version of this jacket. But the Minimus is a possibility if you want to go super, super light. The Yukon is a very, very good option because it's got a rating of -15. It's actually a very similar jacket to this, but it's boxwool construction, which allows us to get more down in, allows a greater depth of the down. So the Yukon, very, very lightweight. We go up to the Rondoy, which is more protective, rated at -20 and has the features of a traditional mountaineer's jacket, longer in length, more protection around the hood and so on. So rated at -20. And then the incredibly light piece of equipment but very, very warm, the Hispar K-series jacket, rated at -30. Real beauty for this sort of expedition. So there we are. Those are the jackets we'd recommend for your trip up to Everest Base Camp. All right, cheers.